Hi everybody, it's Brian. I hope you're doing well. Over the next few minutes, I wanted to talk about liquid alternatives, a new class of investment product. I'll describe what they are, my thoughts on them, and how they might fit into your portfolio today. In the fall of 2018, Canadian security regulators allowed liquid alternatives to be offered to the Canadian marketplace. These products have been around in other jurisdictions like the United States and Australia for some time. What these products do is offer regular retail clients from all levels of sophistication and net worth access to strategies normally reserved for accredited and high net worth people. For example, portfolio managers can now hold greater amounts of cash. They can also move from different types of securities to different types of securities. They can also employ leverage or short selling if they want to. Importantly, this does not mean that they're going to do this. It just means that they have these tools at their disposal. So let's get in the weeds. Let me give you a real example with the Merit Absolute Alternative Return Fund. This is a fixed income mandate that attempts to manage the portfolio through the various interest rate and business cycles. The sine curve you are seeing represents the motions of the business cycle from late expansion to recession to early expansion again. During each period, it is preferable to own one type of bond over another. In the late expansion phase, it is preferable to own short duration bonds, like a 2-year Ford bond. Whereas as we peak and go into recession, you want to own long duration government bonds, like a 30-year Canadian government bond. And as we trough and move into expansion again, we want to shift the portfolio into longer term corporate debt. In typical mandates, the portfolio management team has limited flexibility in adapting to the interest rate and business cycle changes. So if they're tasked with owning Government of Canadian bonds, that's all they can do, regardless of their market outlook. The Merit team has flexibility. They have the flexibility to hold any security, fixed income-wise, that they like. As an example, as we entered 2020, they believed that we were in the late expansion phase, so they were holding 100% government bonds and cash. As we moved through COVID and we saw stock markets go down and down, they believed that we were hitting the trough at the end of March and April. That is when they started to dip into the corporate bond market, again, adapting to a new business cycle phase. Since these products were released in 2018, I've spent much time studying them, and I've come to 3 conclusions. Number 1, they have shown their resiliency in the volatile markets of 2020. Number 2, you want to entrust your money with portfolio managers that have hedge fund or alternative experience. You want them knowing how to use these new tools. And thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, these additions can act as a complement to your existing portfolio. How do liquid alternatives fit into your existing portfolio? Well, let's examine what you have today. You hold a globally diversified portfolio of income, equities, and real estate. I see liquid alternative as the next slice of pie. Perhaps that forms 10%, 20%, or even 30% of the overall portfolio. What do I expect by doing this? My primary expectation is that the volatility will be lower. So opening up those statements during terrible times will be much more tolerable. If you had any questions about liquid alternatives or anything else, feel free to give me a call, drop me an email, or write your question in the comments section, and we'll be sure to get back to it. And as always, thank you for watching.